Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Warcraft Rumble just got its biggest patch during maintenance mode last night. I have data mined the entire patch, and in this video I'm going to tell you all the changes. So on PC the patch size was 6 GB, so that's one hefty patch. However, it's bigger in size than in content, because a lot of that is because there's a major Unity version upgrade in this patch, and that is the main reason for the huge size. However, there are quite a lot of changes as well. First of all, more nerfs and one buff for Thrall. So the Feral Spirit Wolves do not spawn when Thrall is disabled. And what does disabled mean? Disabled means polymorph in practice. Stunning Thrall is not enough, although the bug still exists, where if you stun Thrall right when it spawns, then it just disables the entire ability. But if you want to prevent wolves from spawning, you polymorph Thrall before Thrall hits 50%. While Thrall is polymorphed, the wolves cannot spawn. If you deal damage to Thrall again, after Thrall has been below 50%, Thrall is out of polymorph, you deal damage. If Thrall survives that hit, then he will spawn wolves. If he dies that hit, he won't. But polymorph is now the answer to prevent Thrall from spawning wolves during combat. Also, Feral Spirit Wolves now spawn for Thrall's current owner, so if you steal Thrall with a Banshee, the wolves will be yours. And then there is one buff to Thrall as well, because the Call of the Horde talent now hits buildings. However, barracks are still specifically excluded. So Call of the Horde talent can now hit towers, but it cannot hit barracks still. So I don't think that's going to be a meaningful difference. There are also some other abilities that no longer work if the mini is disabled, so if it's polymorphed, and those abilities are the Typhoon talent on Moonkin and the Cannonball talent on Abomination. They now have new tech that they can use in these cases, and they're using it in these three minis. There's a bunch of quality of life improvements in the patch, including improved filtering. So now you can use all traits as filters, and they have also added burn and slow as traits. So you can now find slow minis much easier. Sorting options have also been added, so you can also sort your mini list. And also when you're viewing your minis, and some minis are at max XP now shows on the XP bar, so you can quickly see which of your minis you have XP maxed. And speaking of XP, there are numerous changes to XP and quests. So the daily XP cap is now 100,000. It used to be 50,000. And the daily quest cap is now 300 per day. So previously they stacked up to 300, but you only got 20 new quests per day, daily quests. But now you get 300 new daily quests every day. They still stack up to 300, so 300 is the maximum, but that just refreshes every single day. So you can daily quest to your heart's desire nowadays. Also, XP improvements. End of game XP now scales with collection level, and that goes up to 90 XP, where it used to be 10. So if you have Arclight Booster, the plus 20% lifetime XP increase, then you will now see 108 XP at the end of a game, where you used to see plus 12. Also, the free gift XP has been improved. The base XP now ranges, depending on collection level, from 8 to 225. It used to be from 5 to 150. And the XP scaling per hour that you don't claim it has also been improved. The new range is from 2 to 30, where it used to be 1 to 15. And Heroic Sieges and Heroic Molten Core now award 50% more XP, so you get more XP per map from Heroic than you get from Normal. Although Normal can still be so much faster, then it's still better, but now Heroic is a little bit more rewarding. And the co-op experience has been improved overall, because you can now ping the map in co-op. So previously you could try to spam an emote like, hey, please go mine some gold, get some gold, please get some gold, would you? Now you can actually show that, hey, please get this gold over here, please attack over here. So there's a lot more you can do in co-op now with emotes. There's also one improvement to a dungeon relic, because the Darkmoon price wheel relic, which used to be actively harmful. It made your cheap minis more expensive or expensive minis cheaper, which meant that you were in trouble because it was just really bad. But now it's actually good, because now minis have a 30% chance to cost 1 less and 20% chance to cost 2 less, but no less than 1. So now it's just a little bit random cost reduction, but no downside, and cost reduction is very powerful. So Darkmoon price wheel suddenly became a perfectly viable relic. Ogre Mage has received a minor nerf, or more of a bug fix really, because if your Ogre Mage has the Frost Firebolt talent, then now it applies a regular frost effect. Previously it used to be a hard-coded frost effect that kept its full duration even against bosses, so you could just freeze stuff a lot with Ogre Mage. But no longer, now it's just a regular frost, and they have also changed frost now so that a new application of frost will always replace the old frost. Or all frost effects. But all frost effects have also now been harmonized, so they all have the same duration anyway, so it's only positive that a new application will replace the old one. And then there are, of course, bugs. Surprisingly few bugs, actually, considering that this was a major Unity version upgrade. But the most reported bug has been completely pink or white screen on PC. For some people, updating your graphics drivers may help, so it has not worked for everyone, but some people have just updated graphics drivers and then they have had graphics again. But for some people, pink or white screen on PC seems to be a feature at the moment. We'll see what happens with that. That's really the only new bug that has been introduced that I have seen so far. Some of the old bugs have not been fixed though. So for example, unclaimable rewards from a past siege or raid may prevent access to a new raid. That's an old bug. Other unclaimable rewards may pop up when you start the game and then you just click them away, but you never actually receive them, so they keep popping up every time you start the game. It's just an annoyance. It doesn't actually prevent you from doing anything, but it still hasn't gone away. That's an old bug. Game freezing in Elven Forest, that might still be around. I'm actually a little bit uncertain about that, but there is a workaround for that old bug, because workaround is just to wait for some time and it will eventually unfreeze. And then the guild interface. I have been trying to test the guild interface a lot today, and if I open lots of guilds really quickly, I can still get the game to crash. But I have actually been able to open like 7 guilds as fast as I can before I crash the client, and even more if I just open them slowly one by one. So you can actually join guilds nowadays, it seems. It seems that the guild interface stability has been improved, even though it's still not perfect. So on the bug side, well, apart from, playing with a completely pink or white screen might be a little bit difficult. But apart from that, looks quite positive so far. And then a little bit of speculation based on the files of things that may yet come to pass or maybe won't, but we'll see. Because there's some work in the files about Heroic Onyxia. Heroic Onyxia not currently active. Talents have been added to Heroic Onyxia. They have changed code income for in Heroic Onyxia. They have set the level of Heroic Onyxia to level 34 now. And they have set an unlock criteria. Beating normal Onyxia unlocks the Heroic Onyxia. But it is uncertain if this will ever really happen. There have been like no major mechanics changes or anything like that, unlike with other heroics, so I don't know if Heroic Onyxia is going to be a thing. But there's some more prep work for that in the files. However, this patch clearly includes a lot of stuff that was worked on with the full team, because a lot of things have been added also for all family events. Alliance, Beast, Blackrock, Cenarion, Undead. There's a bunch of like localized text for all of these. There's some work on the missions, on the mythic missions, on the co-op missions. We already had Horde. They're all modeled like that. So 3 maps and then a co-op map. But I don't know if these are ever going to be completed. The Emerald Nightmare, there was the teaser about Emerald Nightmare back in July. That was going to be part of the Cenarion Family event. That was going to be a map in the Cenarion Family event. Now we know that much as well. Also, the Cenarion Kobold was going to be a store offer. It's still in the files. It's just scheduled for July 2025, and that's in the past, so it's no longer active. And it never was, because it only arrived with this patch. It was going to cost $4.99. But we don't know what's going to happen with Cenarion Kobold in the future. And overall, what's going to be the future of family events is uncertain. In the maintenance mode announcement, they said that they would focus on events. And these are events, so maybe they will be able to finalize some of this stuff. I don't know, but a lot of work had been done for all of the family events. Oh, and there could have been more, because over at the community Discord, Mukas had been able to access a pre-release version of this patch, but Janitor cleaned up the patch for the final release. So in the version that Mukas had been able to find, there was stuff like Cho'Gall and it looks like Cho'Gall was going to be the next mini. In the current patch, the live patch, there is only one reservation in the mini list for mini number 97. So there is a spot for a mini, but the reference doesn't work, so it doesn't take you anywhere. But there was going to be a new mini in July if the team had stayed, and it looks like that mini would probably have been Cho'Gall. It's still a chance that it could have been a skin, but probably could have been a full mini. There was also some Thrall colored skins for Thrall, and there was a Daughter of the Sea skin for Jaina, which have now been removed from the files for the live patch, so no idea if those are ever going to make a comeback, but yeah, that was sort of stuff that the Rumble team was working on before the maintenance mode, and some of the quality of life improvements and things were actually now released in the big Rumble patch. And we'll see what's going to happen with the events. After all, events were something that were promised. But I mean, that could also just mean Darkmoon Fair and Blinkturn, or it could mean family events. So we'll see. Either way, big Rumble patch, quality of life improvements, game improvements. This is life in Rumble maintenance mode. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.